All right, guys, thank you for joining me. Appreciate it as always. Okay, all right. Let's get the 1,000 5x5s out of the way. Let's go. Ozark, thank you for the 5x5. Jason, thank you for the 5x5. Sar, Sar, Sarah, thank you for the 5x5 on Rumble. Adam, Elaine, Akal, Dobie, Flowngrown, Vegan, Maria, thank you for the 5x5. Raccoon, Rhonda, Krista, WTC, Mitch, Nostra, Nancy, Witty, Groundhog, Lexi, Camera, Carmi, sorry, thank you for the 5x5. Sarita, Nomad, Streetwise, Renee, Prep to Adapt, Prepper Revelator, what's going on? Everybody else, thank you for the 5x5. Paula, Papa, ANU, excuse me, thank you for the 5x5. Dan Phillips, Crow, Nancy, John, Emmy, thank you for the 5x5. Be Real, thank you for the 5x5. Streetwise, Fever Gold, June, thank you for the 5x5. Appreciate it, guys. What is that? Ruben? BB. Thank you for the 5x5. Raccoon Eyes, Prep to Adapt, Maria Jackson, thank you for the 5x5 on Rumble. Appreciate it. All right. Mississippi Coast, thank you for the 5x5. Beef and Chicken, Up Tech Extreme, thank you for the 5x5. Teddy, thank you for the 5x5. Appreciate it. All right. So, tonight, we're talking about a big meeting that just happened with Trump and his army of assholes. Now, I do not like where this is going. For the doggies, Colt, Oscar, Noir, Dan, thank you for the 5x5. Yes, Jason, we're going to be talking about Trump and Gate. And not just Gate, but it was the tech companies of the United States and maybe the world. They met at the White House yesterday, the 4th, right? So they all had a dinner and they sat down and they talked about a lot of shit. Now, supposedly, the conversation between Gates and Trump, they were talking about cures and eradicating several major diseases. That's what was being reported and the discussion with them. With Zuckerberg is was looking to donate an extremely large amount of money. We're going to get into that part a little bit. Now, Misha Bell, thank you for the 5x5. And Maverick, thank you for the 5x5. So, of course, guys, listen, there's a lot of things that Trump is doing that is just not good. And the crazy shit is, a lot of the shit that he is doing, we thought other politicians were going to do. We were wholeheartedly in on believing that Obama, the Clintons, and Biden were going to do this shit, and instead it's Trump doing it. Now, granted, guys, there are a lot of things that are going to be done under the guise of safety and protection of the American people, and it's always bullshit. Always, right? When they come up with new taxes, it's going to benefit the American people. We never see it. It actually taxes us. And this is going back to every other president who's raised taxes over the duration of the United States existence. A lot of things have been done for our protection under, the guise of, we need to better protect the American people. The Patriot Act was one of those things, right? The Patriot Act was enacted after 9/11, and we gave up a lot of our freedoms without any fight. And people are like, well, if it's going to stop the next terror issue, no. The terror issue, I'm starting to believe more and more each day that a lot of it is a setup to get certain laws passed, to get certain regulations passed, and to create more restrictions on our freedoms. Putting National Guardsmen in the streets of America is getting us acclimated or used to them being in the streets. And before you know it, they're going to be a staple in city streets, your local area. Now, a lot of people, in the video I did earlier today, a lot of people, I would say a few people were on board with America being cleaned up using American troops. If I'm not mistaken, right before the Boston Tea Party, that whole revolution, we had British troops in the streets of America, and it wasn't America back then, but they were patrolling the streets and keeping us safe, right? They were trying to keep us in line. That's what they were doing. We're seeing the same shit again. This is definitely a dangerous trend. Now, if Trump is really doing this because he wants to stop crime and he wants to bring it down, there are, like I said in my video, 1,000 different avenues he could have went down before implementing this, and then sounding like he's bragging that he's going to go to other states like New Orleans, or rather other cities like New Orleans, Chicago, and Baltimore. And he wants to go into this for what? To bring down crime. All right. But again, he doesn't have a solution, nor has he talked about a solution on what he's going to do after he pulls out the guards. Now, the National Guardsmen were only supposed to be until September 1st, and now it's being bumped to October 30th or November 30th. I can't remember which date or which month, actually. Excuse me. I'm not sure if it was October or November. What's going to happen in November? You're going to pull them back? Or you're going to get the D.C. Police Department squared away so that you can. So now, if the police departments become more squared away before they pull the National Guardsmen, then I'll take back everything I said. But, unfortunately, I see a pattern. And we've seen this pattern in time in the past. This is not the first time this has been done in any country. Other countries have done this same shit, and before you know it, you got military troops patrolling the streets. Right now it's the National Guards. It could be the Army in the future. Who knows? But I do not like where this is going. That being said, anybody who is for National Guards patrolling the streets of America, you are the exact communist that we were trying to stop having this shit happen. When Biden and Obama, or rather Obama, talked about, or people, were speculating that Obama was going to do this, everybody was up in arms. People thought that we were going to have National Guards deployed during the whole COVID incident, right? And people were up in arms over that. But now Trump is doing it because it's for the safety of the people, and now all of a sudden it's good. Now listen, crime is down in D.C. I think it's down 40% now. I think it's 40%. And that is huge. And that speaks volumes. And that looks good on paper. What is it going to look like a year from now? What is it going to look like 5 years from now when National Guardsmen are still in the streets? We'll just be like, oh, okay, that's just a National Guardsman patrolling the street. They want you, and they acclimate us to this shit. They're acclimating us, guys, to our freedoms being taken away a little bit at a time. Every time they pass some new gun law, that's a chip at the freedom bell, if you will. They have National Guardsmen roaming the streets, that's another chip at freedom being taken away. They have surveillance AI systems going in, more freedoms being chipped at. And before you know it, we're going to look like fucking China. Again, guys, this is all, what's my drink word? I don't know. I have no clue. Fuck. That could be my drink word for the night. It's just not looking good. That's all I'm saying. It's not looking good, and I do not trust Trump. Period. Listen, I don't trust any politicians. I don't care who they are. I mean, suffice it to say, I would still rather Trump be in office than Kamala Harris. I was watching that movie with, what's that movie with Denzel, the new one that just came out? High and Low, Low and High, Sweet and Low, Sweet Chariot. I don't know what was the name of it, but I'm going to pull it up right now. Because they did some shit when I was watching Invasion. Invasion rolled right into Highest Lowest. Invasion rolled right into the movie. So I was like, let me watch it. I used to like Spike Lee movies. I like Denzel. Let's see how bad it is. The movie's good, but it's not worth going out of your way to see. So it happens to come on, you can watch it, but it's not something that I would go out of my way to see. Swing Low. Yeah, I mean, I didn't mean to, make it Negroized, but that's pretty much that's the title they were aiming at. For the doggies, yes, they are overdoing it with the public surveillance cameras, but with AI, they're going to start initiate. I think Zuckerberg is undoubtedly going to be the man for that task. Spam is the drink word. Nostradamus, spam is not going to be the drink word because then you guys are never going to drink anything. How often do I mention that word? But yeah, Ruby B. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that wrong. Yeah, the Patriot Act. Listen. Back when the Patriot Act was enacted, I thought it was like, oh man, they're protecting the American people. I believed that bullshit like an idiot. But then I started seeing certain things like soon after, and I was like, oh man. Like when I started reading it, I was like, oh, this doesn't look good. And this is before I became a prepper. Listen, I was always a conspiracy theorist, always. As a child, I was listening to conspiracy theorists. Like that makes sense, you know. And like whatever you told me, I always considered it. Not that I believed it, but I considered a lot of it, you know. Oh my God. Erica said that the Dearborn PD patch is in Arabic. If that is true, that has to be shut down immediately. I'm talking about immediately, like full on, yo, get some time. If that is true. I'll look into that a little later tonight. But, yeah, man, the direction we're headed in right now with Trump doing what he's doing isn't looking good. And listen, again, I would rather Trump than Kamala Harris. That is true, because Kamala Harris would have probably single-handedly put a match to this country and blew it to smithereens. But Trump is absolutely taking it apart piece by piece. There's still a lot of, according to Prepper Revelator, because I'm not a gun guy, so I don't follow a lot of the rules, laws, and things that are still in play. But there's still a lot of Biden gun restrictions in play that are not being lifted. So again, guys, I don't trust this man as far as I can throw him. It's definitely a bad thing that's going on, but we gotta see where this is gonna go. And I'm gonna tell you right now, guys, this is going to get worse. Oh, sorry, that's why I brought up the Denzel movie. In the background of the Denzel movie, in the background when he was talking to his son, there was a poster of Kamala Harris and it said forward. And I'm looking at that going, he did that, he filmed the movie last year, probably around the summertime, before the election. And I was just like, I like how they put that in frame. I'm like, take it down. You know, like, not everything has to have a political implication. Some things, guys, should just be a movie straight up. But with Spike Lee in his movies, everything's got to be like black this and that. And like, there was like nothing but like traces of, it was overdone. The apartment was overly Negroized, if you ask me. It's good to have like, you know, a mixture of shit on your wall. Not everybody is one way or the other. You know, like Sal's Pizza and Do the Right Thing. You know, it was like nothing but white folks on the wall. Not everybody's fucking like, you know, that Italian or that black. But, you know, whatever. That's Spike Lee's, that's how Spike Lee looks at shit. So So, Dearborn, that's interesting. If this is true, it's pretty interesting. See if I can put it up on the screen for you guys. But anyway, like I said before, the movie was okay. I wouldn't go out of my way to see it. Anyway, that being said, guys, what is coming our way is definitely not good. Keep in mind, guys, Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, and I'm not mistaken, Tim Cook did not like Trump. In fact, during the elections, they didn't even back him. Like, not even a little bit. So, that being said, man, him meeting with them, not a good thing. All right, guys, so this is the supposed patch. I do not know how true this is. This is circulating on the internet. I have to see this patch on a police officer to believe it. But this is the rumored patch right now. And again, I'm not saying anybody on here is lying. I need to see this on a police officer in Dearborn, and then I'll buy into it. The problem, guys, is we have to be careful with everything we are seeing. Everything we're seeing in this day and age is almost made up. Just about everything. They are twisting stories around, like I said in my AI video earlier today. Everything cannot be believed right out of the gates. There has to be a lot of research done into this stuff because who knows? Stud Fleet said, I would take Kamala Harris over Trump. I feel like he's trying to position his self forever president. Stud Fleet, that's what I'm worried about. I'm wondering if he's positioning himself to be the last president. Like he's believing that bullshit that was in a book that was written in what? Early 1900s, late 1800s about him and his family. I'm definitely looking at that. I know that we definitely have the last pope, that's for sure. The last pope, this pope now currently in office, he stated that he's something with the LGBT. I just saw it the other day, and I was like, wait, what? This dude is doing. Hold on, this dude. He just made. Oh, okay, that's what it is. Pope Francis has adopted a more accepting tone towards the LGBTQ individuals compared to the previous pope, famously saying, "If someone is gay and is searching for Lord as God and has goodwill, then who am I to judge him?" However, he still upholds traditional Catholic teachings that classify same-sex act as sinful. Listen, chipping away at the Catholic religion, stating that this is okay. There is not a Muslim imam out there that would accept this on any level. But the Catholic Church keeps chipping away at allowing the LGBT community to get in there and be more of an advocate for them. Okay? Again, once, and I heard this as a child a long time ago, when the Pope starts accepting the LGBT community as like equals, that's the end of the Catholic religion. So I mean, again, say what you want, but we are absolutely on deck for the shit we are seeing. So anyway, with that being said, guys, Trump definitely had a dangerous meeting. And keep in mind, these people, like I said, Bill Gates, Tim Cook, Mark Zuckerberg hated him. Right? I mean, the disdain for him was clear in the during the elections when they backed Kamala Harris and they gave Kamala Harris millions. They wanted nothing to do with Trump. Now they're hobnobbing and rubbing elbows and having meals and talking about making cures and eradicating certain diseases, or rather major diseases. Now, there's a lot of eradicating you could do by way of diet, but Bill Gates doesn't think so. Bill Gates, in fact, is out on the whole healthy diet, at least for the masses, right? There is a gay Muslim community. Is there? I never heard of it. But thank you for notifying me. I'll look into it. But that's not going to last long. Like, not even a little bit. They don't play that shit. And if they start playing around with that shit, then, the world's over. We might as well just start running around naked in our fucking Mad Max uniforms because it's done. People are writing, yeah, Johnny 308. Some of the comments are way too long. I can't read half of them, and I appreciate it, but the thesis comments, guys, just a little shorter, if you can. And I know, listen, I know I'll say some shit, and you're like, that's right, what? And then you want to like type away, but I really can't read that fast. I am a retarded reader. I'm like, to students, Chinese fentanyl charges. I can't read that fast. 22 students charged with, there we go. 22 students charged with felony fentanyl charges, and yet Trump is allowing. Listen, guys, again, I didn't hear much of a rebuttal. About the 600,000 students Trump is letting in. There was barely anybody. You couldn't defend it. There was nobody defending that comment. And when I talked about it in my video, nobody could defend it. They were just like, it was radio silence. But when you talked about National Guards on the street, he's trying to clean up crime. Shut the fuck up, you commie. That is the most communist shit you can ever say. We've seen that shit in North Korea. We've seen that shit in Russia, Brazil. Name a lot of the communist countries, and we've seen military men and women, or rather men, excuse me, on the streets protecting their people. It starts there, and it ends badly down the line. Just saying, yo. Okay, so PAEMT states, police confirmed on Fox 2, wherever that is, on Wednesday, I guess PA, that the department had a new operational patch that officers can wear as part of their uniform. The patch reads Dearborn Heights Police in both Arabic and English. No shit. Where the hell did he leave that comment then? How did I miss that? Sorry, PAEMT. Sirens again. Yeah, man, listen, this is New York City. Sirens all the time. And I'm over a highway, so, you're always going to get that traffic underneath, and then I'm in one of the busiest crime neighborhoods, if you will, and people call for everything here, like everything. Crackheads, fucking dancing in the streets or shooting up in the streets. You choose. Rats getting into a fist fight, pigeons fighting with rats, they call that shit. You got people playing their music too loud, or dogs barking, they call in on that. Fucking people getting robbed almost on a daily basis now, man. No, you don't have to put them in timeout. By the way, who is this that's texting me from this number? I apologize if it's one of my what you call this? I don't have your name on this number. But okay, all right, forget it. I know who it is now. Sorry, but anyway, so guys, here it goes. Recent news reports confirm that Bill Gates and President Donald Trump have discussed plans to cure and even eradicate major diseases. You cannot eradicate diseases. That's like almost an impossibility. Unless it's a fast-moving disease, you can't eradicate them. They stay around forever. I mean, like even polio's still around, and I thought that was eradicated. So they'll sit there and say it's eradicated, but it's still floating around out there. The Black Plague, still floating around, not eradicated, right? There are some diseases that have been abolished, but they can make a comeback. So, I blocked him. He's annoying. Okay? All right. Anyway, so this discussion took place at the White House dinner September 4th, yesterday, 2025, with tech and AI leaders. So, again, Zuckerberg is working it from another angle. Bill Gates is working it from another angle. Tim Cook, I found out the other day, or at least I thought I saw an article the other day, how Apple is trying to jump into the AI game in a big way. We're going to see where that's going to go, but that's not looking good. Not at all. The ARM tickets are definitely on their way, or the depopulation juice. Well, I'm trying to work out new ones, so forgive me. William Palmer, yes, man, we get it. Judgment Day is here. Judgment Day is fucking been here and now for the last I don't know how long. So relax with that shit. People are like, Judgment Day is coming. You sound like the fucking idiots I read about fucking earlier this week when they were talking about the apocalypse is right around the corner. The apocalypse has been around the corner since fucking 400 something CE. Let it go, guys. When it happens, it happens. And that's where it is. Just get ready for the apocalypse. Get right where God. A lot of people are. There's not much you can do until it happens. Let it go. William, I heard about the Euphrates River. The Euphrates River has been gone for about 2-3 years now. There is actually something very interesting with the Euphrates River and demons. And I saw a video on that, and I was like, man, that's pretty interesting shit. The whole demon thing in the Euphrates River. If it is true, we're in trouble. But yeah. So anyway, guys. So here was the detailed discussions of that dinner. Listen. The one thing I have to say, and forgive me, this is something that I do every time I see one of these dinners come together. I don't care about what's being said for the most part. what I care about is what they're eating. That always gets me because I'm like, what kind of meal are they being prepared? Are they being prepared like the best brisket ever or the best Wagyu steak in the world? Like that's like where my brain goes first. Sorry. Then I look at all the other points that I have here. But I always look at those meals and I'm like, man, what is, I'm like, what are they eating, man? That's got to be some fancy shit those people are eating, Like, it's just a dumb thing that I do in my head. Lexi, what video are you talking about? Sorry. I'm talking about a lot. So by the time you put it in the chat, 30 seconds have already gone by, and a million things have already entered my head. So, yeah, but it's just a dumb thing I do every time I see these kind of dinners come together. I'm just like, yo, what are they having? It's stupid and childish, but yes. Nonetheless, that's what I think about. Like the after parties they have sometimes, I'm like, man, what are they serving at the dessert bar? So, and that's because when you're hungry all the time, you get a lot of these dumb thoughts in your head. But anyway, here goes the detailed discussions that they were having. Detailed discussion they were having was focusing on innovation. Gates specifically noted that the conversation were about taking American innovation to the next level. I guess to beat out the Chinese, because there was talk about technology and Chinese, mainly military technology, and trying to beat the Chinese in that race, which I think is going to be hard to do because they're like fucking 12 steps ahead of us. Diseases mentioned. Specific diseases mentioned include HIV, polio, and sickle cell disease. Sickle cell is going to be a hard one because sickle cell is a genetic disease. It means your body's genetically being, changed. Johnny 308, that was a good one. I like that one. Winter Homestead, thank you for pointing it out. See, Winter Homestead saw it. I have an ad. There are ads that pop up over the chat now. I don't know what that's about. Winter Homestead, I have no clue what that's about. But yeah, it's been happening on my end too. Not tonight so far, but it has happened. So anyway, guys, diseases, again, I told you about diseases they want to eradicate. But still, interestingly enough, not cancer. Now, cancer, on the other side of that conversation, there's a lot of things that can mitigate and minimize you getting it by way of diet. So keep that in mind. But I find it interesting that Gates didn't talk about that. Roles for AI, or roles of AI. Gates advocate for the use of artificial intelligence to advance global healthcare, stating, "We want a doctor for everyone in Africa through AI." What? I'm sorry. Fuck Africa? Am I being mean? Nomad, no, I've not used OBS to stream to YouTube. I'm using Rumble's streaming service. Rumble's configuration code, or however you want to call it, to stream the Rumble. Context of Gates' philanthropic efforts. Gates Foundation's new focus. In May of 2025, Bill Gates announced that the Gates Foundation would accelerate its spending to $200 billion over the next 20 years to combat disease and poverty, with a sunset date or year of 2045. So in 20 years, he wants to do this shit, and hopefully Africa will be on its own. Bullshit. The foundation's renewed effort to focus on three main goals, including ensuring the next generation grows up in a world without deadly infectious disease. Why is he so focused on Africa and Africa only? There are a lot of poor neighborhoods and poor kids in the United States. Some reason, guys, Oprah and Gates are hyper-focused, on Africa. And I do not like that. Yes, should you help them out? Absolutely. But the hyper-focus is a red flag. Why? What are they doing? Now, yes, they have used Africans as guinea pigs over the last few years. That is a statement that I've gotten from people who lived in Africa. There are countries who kicked Gates out of Africa because of said guinea pigging or testing of certain devices and chemicals and or juices on people. Right? So again, his hyper-focus and what's the name's hyper-focus is a bit red flaggy if you ask me. Now, again, Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg and Tim Cook hating on Trump, and now they were laughing and carrying on. I'm like, yo, listen. If I have a sworn enemy, you're going to stay my enemy. Now, if an alien invasion happens and we have to team up together to then fight our sworn enemy, so be it. But after the enemy is uprooted and done, we're getting back to fighting. Simple as that. Unless we're like old men by the time that happens, then that's a different story. But, Gates, Tim Cook, they can't be trusted. They can never be trusted. And Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk cannot be trusted. I don't understand why we're trusting these Martians. All right, Nomad, thank you for that. I'll take a look at it. Yeah, I'll take a look at it with the email. But I don't know what's the difference from the OCS stuff. I mean, the OBS, excuse me. I'm streaming on the two services that I want. I don't want to stream anywhere else because I don't want any more. Then I got to split my, I don't know. I'll read your email. I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. But anyway, guys, yeah. So Africa, definitely in trouble. And it's funny. There was an African woman who talked about something that happened probably 20 years ago now. Yeah, just about 20 years ago. Because I was on the job when this happened, and she was talking about a town that was given a certain depopulation juice, whatever, and the entire town within 24 hours was gone. And I think one or two kids wind up surviving it. Either they didn't take it. I remember one kid didn't take it because he was already sick and he couldn't get it, and they didn't want to compromise him. And he wound up being the only one to survive in that town. So anyway, this lady had a YouTube video on that, and the YouTube video was up for a little while, and then all of a sudden, the YouTube video disappeared. That was almost 20 years ago. Or however long YouTube was out. It was right around that time. Kathy, I don't know. I know that a lot of African countries kicked them out, and I know a lot of African countries were not taking the arm ticket for Mr. 19. But if you look at a lot of the African leaders who were also coincidentally passed away or assassinated, they had a new leader come in, and then they opened up the gates for them to take the arm ticket. You can look that up. You can find that yourself. You'd be blown away. It was 7 or 8 of them that were like, no, my people shall not take the arm ticket. And they were like, okay. And then all of a sudden, 3 heavy hitters came in, killing one dude, blew him to shreds. Somebody else came in, took over, and then all of a sudden the vaccine was allowed. Yeah, man. And you could look up the story and you can connect the dots on your own, right? It sounds very conspiracy theorish, but when you start connecting the dots, you're like, oh shit, there's something here. But yeah, man, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad how it's out there, and how there was one guy who was talking about how we were lied to about the face coverings and the things in our arms, and the doctor was sitting there trying to argue with him like, oh, what you're saying is false information. I'm like, no, he wasn't. He's right. There's studies out there saying so. But this doctor, a black chick, is like, no, you're wrong. You're lying. You're this. You're that. I'm like, he's right. And look what we're seeing. We're seeing an insurmountable amount of people, guys, lose their shit. Now, listen, that could be technology as well. Technology could definitely be damaging a lot of people's brains. Because the amount of shit that I'm seeing, people looking at ChatGPT to off their mother. One guy was using ChatGPT to, and ChatGPT told him to off himself because the world was would be better without him, or he wouldn't be missed. It was something crazy ChatGPT said to him to say that for him to off himself. The family is currently suing. I think the family is currently suing ChatGPT for that. Listen, AI healthcare, Kane Corso, AI healthcare is bad. They're using AI healthcare to also interview new applicants to want health insurance. So they're going to look at you, look at your family history. They're going to compute all that shit up, and AI is going to make a decision within the next couple of weeks. Oh, sorry, the next couple of hours. If not within the hour, you apply. Now, I find it interesting that in the movie Alien Earth, TV show Alien Earth, AI did the same shit. AI was telling a guy that he couldn't leave the services because he was, my skydive. Yeah, I know about the appeal shit. That's not good either. Not at all. Though the appeal, there's two appeals, and there's one that's Gates and there's one that's not his. Suze, I'll look into that after the live stream. Yeah, Franny. Yeah, exactly. That ChatGPT shit was crazy. So, listen, ChatGPT, guys, is undoubtedly going to shut a lot of shit down for us in the near future. I see an AI apocalypse coming, and it's not going to fare well for us. I know that AI is definitely creating division. That's for sure. Making people believe that everything that's going on is okay. Listen, if you're a patriot of this country, you do not stand by Trump allowing the National Guards to roam the streets of any city in America. The last time I checked, Washington, D.C. is in America. It should not be allowed. I don't care what state it's in, it should not be allowed. If you're a patriot. If you're not a patriot, then you're a Chinese communist and you want the same thing the Chinese did to their country, the North Koreans, the Russians, the fucking Belarusians. You name the country, they did the same exact shit, except for they used, like, I hate to say this, real military to do so. And in other countries just tacked out their police officers like military. It's not a good look. And if you are a constitutionalist, then you are not for what's going on. But if you are for what's going on, then you're not a constitutionalist. And guess what? Then we might as well just give up the rest of our rights, the rest of our freedoms. Simple as that, man. So, I mean, listen, we can argue about this shit all day till we're blue in the face. It ain't good. Johnny 308, you are right. That's why I say constitutionalists, because constitutionalists understand what's in the Constitution. And I have to even look at it. I carry a little booklet around, and I carry it around just to refresh my memory on what a lot of shit is. And everything that's going on is unconstitutional. Listen, the arm ticket was unconstitutional. And yet people sat there and said, but it's protecting American people, like fucking morons. The same morons who sat there and said it's protecting American people, now we got a different group of morons saying that it's okay to have National Guards patrolling the streets of America. We're being surrounded by morons, guys, and the moron circle is getting big. And the logical thinking people are getting smaller, like about that small, right? And more morons are growing. And it's turning into a moronic society where people are going to be used to watching National Guards be in the streets and going, oh, that's normal. Or just walking by them like it doesn't matter. Because they're normalizing the presence of National Guardsmen on the streets of America so that at any given time they want to implement martial law, guess what? Well, they were already here. You normalize it, that's how you control the American people. By having morons and more morons become moronic in their moronic ways. We're living in a moronic society with fucking moranticities fucking running this country. But then you have the opposite side of that coin. You got the moronic Democrats stating, oh, that's too much. Listen, Democrats are at fault as well. But we got Democrats that are at fault, and then we have fucking Republicans that are now allowing this shit to happen. We're surrounded by morons. The people of this country should be fighting to get this country back. Not saying, oh, it's okay to have National Guards if they're gonna quell crime in the streets. Police officers, and I don't even agree, should be police officers. It should be the people of that said town and or city getting back their country, getting back their city, getting back their town. Not a fucking military unit getting back your town. That's what it should be. It should be us getting strapped to the nines and handling our business. That's what we should be doing. We should be punching drug dealers in the vagina. Very hard. I'm talking about fisting them till we're fucking puppeteers at that point. our hands so far up their vaginas, we're puppeting them around. That's what we should be doing. We shouldn't be relying on National Guardsmen to protect our streets. It doesn't work that way, nor should it ever work that way. Our founding fathers are probably spinning in their fucking graves right now because we fought so that this wouldn't happen, and now we're allowing this to happen. But this is where we are. And then we have so-called patriots going, but it's allowing crime to come down. I'm punching crime in the fucking vagina on my own. Yelling at crackheads, telling these fucking people, you know, not to shoot here, don't shoot up on my staircase, chasing people out of the fucking building. And I'm doing this by myself. At some point, it's probably going to come to a head and they're going to beat me up. They're going to all fucking surround me with their crackheadisms and their pipes and their needles, and they're going to start jigging me in the fucking ribs and some shit till I bleed out or whatever it is. But I'm fucking holding the line on my own. I can't get another dude to do it because everybody's being fucking pussified. People will not fucking stand up. Listen, don't get me wrong. I'm not like, you know, I'm not trying to be, what's his name, Charles Bronson, right? I mean, I don't have a death wish, but something's got to be done. We can't keep fucking relying on police officers who don't want to do their job, and then National Guardsmen who fucking have an itchy trigger finger. We can't. We're supposed to do this shit on our own. We're supposed to police our own neighborhoods. Adriana, you're right. You're absolutely right. You got keyboard warriors in the whole 9 yards, man. Everybody's sitting there like, yo, I'll do it. No, you won't, because I don't fucking see you out there doing it. You know, but again, I'm out here, not on a daily basis, but enough fucking, you know, making fucking noise. Yelling at the Jews that own the building. I'm like, you fucking Jews can't be any more fucking Jewier that you need fucking more money from the government by letting these shelter people stay in the buildings? You know, fucking Jews doing Jew shit, man. It's like fucking enough already. You know, and they're letting these fucking shelter assholes in the building, these fucking car wrecks are moving into the building, stealing everything that's not tied down. Trying to run a drug empire out of the building. I'm watching one guy very closely to see where that goes. You know, but I'm like, and I'm gonna tell the you know, the fucking Jewy Jews like, yo, enough already. But yeah, listen, man. I was called a Jew. It's just it's all going downhill. And listen, at some point, I guess maybe I'm gonna have to throw my hands in the air and leave, but I'm gonna give it the old 1-2 before I do. You know. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting next couple of weeks, because the more drug addicts that come into the building, the more I yell at them, the more I don't know. I yell at them. I give them a piece of my mind. Whether it gets physical or not, that's a different discussion that I can't discuss. Kathy, I live. Yo, Curious Joel is a shit show, Kathy. Fuck that place. And fuck the people that live there. Fuck that neighborhood. Those fucking scam artists and their bullshit. Holy shit, man. Anytime someone brings up Curious Joel, I'm like, that is the one place, man, where those fucking people with the Yamakosas running around took over an entire town. They started their infection by starting in the middle of Curious Joel, the town, and branching out from there. Effectively breaking the town up. Taking money from the town and putting it into their neighborhoods. A shit show. Where is Mayor Adams? Mayor Adams is fighting for his life right now in the election, in the mayor election. And he's not winning. He's in last place, actually. Like, not dead last, but out of the top 5 or 4, he's dead last in the top 4 or 5. But as far as, like, running for mayor, he's not dead last. But if you put him in the top 5, he's done. He's not winning. PAEMT. Matter of fact, PAEMT. Look up that town and then look at the documentary. I know guys in the firehouse who lived in the area or there, and yo, they all know about it. And I learned about Curious Joel before the documentary, so a lot of this shit I heard I wasn't surprised about because these guys talked about it. And it's just a fact. Their tactic on how they take over neighborhoods is shit. They're doing it countrywide. Muslims are doing the same thing now. Be careful. Look at Dearborn, Michigan. Doing the same exact shit. People are not going to like where this is going to go. Yes, the hypocrisy of YouTube subscribers. That is my next video. That's just more of a shame on you to YouTubers who think that what Trump is doing is good. And you know that the worst part about it is, I'm going to talk about it in a couple of minutes on the Angry Truth channel. There is the worst part about it. People are not going to like it. I'm going to lose subscribers. But you know what I always said? Don't give a fuck. Don't care. Either you're going to be for America or you're not. You can't stand in the fucking middle. I mean, you could stand in the middle. Sorry, you can't stand in the middle. But you can't motherfuck one person for doing the same thing somebody else was going to do or was planning to do. And then when somebody else does it, because you like them, all of a sudden it was a good idea. Yeah, no dice, man. No dice. Dearborn, Michigan is a shit show. I want to drive by and be like, yo, what's going on here? What is going on here? Because I definitely want to drive through and be like, yo, this is fucking shot. Curious Joel is a town upstate New York. You can ask Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival about it. Kathy, who's on here, you can ask her about it. It's a shit show, man. It's fucking bad. It's just a bad. How it was taken over was bad. Excuse me. And then the people that lived there, the Yamakusas, they're just bad people, man. That's all. I mean, I would make an inflammatory comment, but after I make that comment, say goodbye to the channel. And I'm gonna make it one day. That's my last, like, hoorah to this channel. People are like, holy shit, he said it. But I missed to push the envelope because why the fuck not? But yeah, Curious Joel, you got to look it up. Like I said, there's a documentary online about it. Yeah, man, you'll see. Tony, that's my way of saying Jews. The Sids with the Yamakusa. So again, trying to come up with different terms. You got to be creative. You got to be creative on here. Islamabad, that's a new place. Yeah, Islamabad. No, I'm not saying that. That's Yakuza, Laura. Yamakusa is the yarmulkes they wear on the top of their heads. Would burn. But Yakuza is the Japanese mafia. People call them a gang, but it's a Japanese mafia. They actually, I don't want to get into that. That's a different discussion. Texas is still a shit show. Beanie Kusa. Oh, yes, the Beanie Kusa. There you go. Dearborn and Stan. Yo, listen, man, it's all not good. America is just falling apart. And I think the thing is, it's being ripped into too many different directions. You got liberals, you got Jews, you have Muslims ripping it in the different directions. Then you got patriots. But then you got pseudo-patriots, right? People that are like, I'll stand for this country, but as long as, another politician cleans it up, here we go. Yakuza's still around, SDK. They're still there. I saw something about them accidentally on YouTube. I was like, no shit. I saw something about them accidentally. They're still around. They're still a force to be reckoned with, but they're not as outward going as the other gangs. Just because we don't hear about them doesn't mean they don't exist. They're just a lot more subdued and quiet about their shit. They're not on social media talking about, look at us, y'all ching ping ping ping. Samurai swords and fucking chopsakis They're not doing that shit. They're more subdued about how they do business and how they move. They have a Yakuza festival every year in Japan, which I heard was pretty interesting to go to. Every last one of the soldiers are walking around like shirtless with their tats and shit, and the females, and they still run shit, man. They still run shit. People recognize who they are. But yeah, they're just not fucking, hopsakiing it and shit like that. For the doggies, what's the solution for what? Again, by the time I see your question, I've already jumped on to 80 different things. So please elaborate. Not breaking balls. Johnny threw it away. These women, they're tattooed head to toe though. Like, I don't like it. I don't mind a chick with tattoos, but this is fucking crazy. Like, just it's crazy. The documentary City of Joel on YouTube. Yes. Couch Cat, thank you. City of Joel is the documentary. Dan said, you lost me as a subscriber, but I found you again and you can't run. Listen, I don't know what that's about. I can't talk. I can't speak to that. I don't know why YouTube keeps dumping subscribers and then people subscribe back and then I lose more and they come back. I gave up on understanding what they're doing with that bullshit. Nativity scene not allowed on city property in Dearborn. No shit. I'm not surprised. It's not like, oh, how dare they? I'm not surprised at all. All right. So last thing, I forgot to mention, Zuckerberg. Listen, guys, this hot mic shit is bullshit. I've never, in my entire life, up until a couple years ago, heard of so many hot mic moments being a mistake. Get the fuck out of here. Hot mic by accident. Anna, no, bare knuckle, man. Bare knuckle brawler. But, so anyway, there was another hot mic moment. There was a hot mic moment between Russia and China about taking over as a world superpower. Yeah, right. Hot mic, my dick in your mouth, please. But here goes another hot mic moment by Zuckerberg, stating that he was telling Trump, I wasn't sure how much to promise to spend on AI in the United States. Trump turns to Zuckerberg and asks, how much are you spending, or would say, over the next few years? Zuckerberg responds that it was probably going to be upwards of $600 billion roughly through 2028 in the United States, and that's the United States alone. Trump seems to approve. That's a lot. Thank you, Mark. It's great to have you. This is the hot mic moment. An entire conversation with a hot mic moment. Get the fuck out of here. And you don't, like it's not an accident. And it's not, like a hot mic is an accidental thing. This is not fucking accidental. Not at all. Tony Elbows, yes, he set up 600 billion. 600 billion. Zuckerberg has that kind of money to give the United States $600 billion for AI program. Now, here's an AI program you should definitely be worried about, or rather look into. It's called Gideon AI. Let's see if I can fucking find it. Man, I thought I had it here. Maybe I don't. Let's see. It's Gideon AI. Remember that. Yes. Gideon AI is a program that I'm going to talk about on the Angry Truth channel later tonight as well. You got to prepare for this Gideon AI shit. It is not good. Here's the problem, guys. Gideon AI is just a small piece of the problems we're going to see in the near future. Tim Cook, again, throwing Apple into the AI race as well. You have OpenAI. You have, I can't remember all the companies out there, right? You got all of these companies out here developing AI. And each company is trying to outbeat the other company. And you have AI surveillance systems out there as well. This isn't looking good for us as far as where humans are going to land when it comes to working. Now, again, I'm going to jump into the whole Gideon defense, Gideon behavioral threat detection system. Behavioral threat detection system, guys, is a term you're going to see other companies use so that they can detect threats in behaviors of people or people's behavior. Excuse me. They're testing a system like that now in the subway system here in New York City. They're trying to sit there and see if they can have a detection system point out whether or not someone's going to push somebody else into a track or act unruly on the subway platforms. Rhonda, thank you for the 3-minute heads up. Appreciate it. So the Gideon system, or rather the behavioral threat detection systems that are going to be coming online soon, is a way how they watch us. This is the system, guys, that we are not going to like. This is something like what the Chinese are currently using in China right now, except for it's going to be an Americanized system. Listen, man, all I could do is lead you guys to water. Whether or not you want to drink the bullshit is up to you. Crackshot, the quantum computing AI is bad. It is not quite ready yet, and I think it might be ready, but I don't think it's ready for us. Quantum computing AI or ASI or AIS, right? Artificial superintelligence would be also known as quantum AI. Not good. All I can say, guys, is it's not going to fucking work out in our favor. I guess there was an ad for your people, our robots, better together. No, thank you. For the doggy, did you come up with a solution? You probably did, and I missed it. Sorry. But listen, guys, all of it is bad, right? And so this National Guards being on the street is leading to AI surveillance systems in the United States. Again, they're going to use protection, and they're going to use crime. They're going to look at the numbers, and they're like, oh, the crime is down because the National Guardsmen are on the street. But if we implement this system, we can scan everybody's face and know exactly where they're going to be at any given time. We could trace them back to their homes. And then we're going to be living in a virtual prison. We sort of already are in a virtual prison. But it's just going to get a lot worse. And people are too small-brained to see this. That is the problem. That's the bulk of our problem. Now, Trump is starting to wiggle his way out of the whole arm ticket race. I'm going to do a video on that. It's going to be released Monday. Yeah, man. We're not going to like where this is going. And he's trying to backpedal out of a certain situation right now. I will have that video out most likely Monday. Other than that, guys, thank you for joining me. Enjoy your weekend. For those of you joining me in the Angry Truth channel, I will see a lot of you guys over there in a couple of minutes. Thank you and good night, guys.